Hey, welcome back everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. As we do continue on with the reviews of the Neca Toony Terror action figures. So we are on Series 3, and Series 3 was yet another 2019 release. Now there are only 3 figures in this series. As a matter of fact, there's 4, but the 4th one is the Nun from Conjuring. And that one is a glow-in-the-dark. Now, I could go out and buy the glow-in-the-dark version, but you're looking at about $130 for that. And, right now, I don't have the complete collection. So, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I want to make sure that it's going to complete everything. So, I'm going to hold off on that one for a while. I have the original variant, and right now that should suffice, at least for this video. Again, the only difference is one is the glow-in-the-dark version, glow-in-the-dark variant. So, based on what we're seeing in this, not a whole lot of figures or movies / characters that I really covet. Freddy Krueger obviously is on my list. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, those are slashers I care about. Child's Play, Hellraiser, absolutely. The first one we're looking at is The Evil Dead. Now, most recently, I saw the new Evil Dead release. I think it came out in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know what? It was a really solid movie. And great opening scene. Sad to find out that that the events that happened afterwards weren't, they weren't going in order. That the events later on in the movie that you saw was actually past events. And it led up to how the one girl got possessed, and what led up to that scene in the very beginning of the movie. So it was still a great watch. From Bruce Campbell, obviously I know Bruce Campbell best from Xena Warrior Princess and Hercules Legendary Journey, but Evil Dead was probably the biggest thing that he's ever done. And there was 2 or 3 different Evil Dead movies, and then Starz came out with an Evil Dead TV series in the mid-2010s. I think that ran for about 3 seasons or so. That's one of those shows that, I don't know, I don't know, I'm trying to think the right way to say it. Like, it wasn't a bad show. Some people argue that things are terribly good. Or, somewhere along those lines. Like, it was a fun show to an extent. There was a lot of lameness to it. So, even though I was a fan of Bruce Campbell, and yeah, why not? Freaking Evil Dead, it's one of those iconic horror movies that will be going on forever. There's a reason why they come out with a remake 40 years later. Trying to think. Yeah, he did have a missing arm or missing hand in the TV series, which he loses it in the first movie, and I don't remember the second movie. I'm pretty sure I saw it, or at least saw scenes of it, because I kind of remember him being in olden times and attaching the chainsaw to his hand, and all of a sudden he's like in this arena. Kind of like a gladiator type of deal. Again, I don't remember Evil Dead 2. I know I've seen parts of it at least, but I guess that's a bucket list movie for another time. The figure is, adequate. I love the fact that it does come with both the shotgun and the chainsaw, so that's pretty cool. It looks like another very small figure, very thin. When talking about action figures, obviously I prefer the bigger, bulkier ones, but it's still a nice figure. So, I had all the loose figures for Series 1 and 2. I only have one more loose figure, and we're probably not going to see that one for a few more series. So, these videos are going to go by a whole lot faster, given the fact that we don't have as many figures to look at. Next is Count Orlok. Now, Count Orlok, obviously the vampire, or the vampire movies Nosferatu. I'm trying to think. This version of the vampire, that look is so familiar. I don't remember the Nosferatu movie. And if I have seen one, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've come out with several different versions of that movie. Both, regular theatrical type releases as well as low budget movies. So I don't remember this guy. I think Hotel Transylvania. I don't know if this is the Adam Sandler inspired character or if there's something else. I just don't know a whole lot about this particular character. Salem's Lot is another great vampire movie that I think about when I see something like this. But, see, all it says is Nosferatu, which means that it's not only his name, but it's also the name of the movie that he's appeared in. So, but when you look it up on the database, it says Count Orlok. So, I'm kind of really getting a feeling that it's the Adam Sandler animated movie Hotel Transylvania. But I could be wrong. If you guys know, please correct me because I'm at a loss right now. And looks like the only accessory it comes with is this sewer rat. That is a big fella, though. Look at those fingers. Well, big fingers to hold a giant rat. But Salem's Lot, man, that's another movie I have to watch. I'm talking about like the original 1970s version, or was it early 1980s? I remember they came out with another Salem's Lot remake in like the late 90s or early 2000s. I'm pretty sure I watched it. I think it was a made-for-TV movie, but it was nowhere near what the original was. And at that time that I saw it, I could actually remember the original movie. But it's been decades since I've seen Salem's Lot, the original version. And I think if I were to watch it today, yeah, there are a few things that might kind of stand out to me, but I think 99.9% of the movie would be like seeing it for the first time. The only thing I can really remember from the original version is the guy kind of sitting down and taping ice cream sickle sticks together. Well, they're not really ice cream sickles. They are ice cream sticks. They're tongue suppressors that the doctors use. But yeah. I gotta watch that movie. I mean, that's... But do I got about how long was that movie? 3 hours? 2.5? I knew it was crazy long. I just can't remember how long. It wasn't long. Not 3-4 hours, but... Anyways, the last figure I have is variant number 1, which is The Nun. Obviously, coming from the Conjuring universe... Now, you did see The Nun in The Conjuring. You also saw The Nun in the movie The Nun. And this one actually says The Nun, so that's the movie that this one was taken from. But, was it, is it not Isabel, is it Isabel? I gotta think, man. You would think horror movies like this would be like so fresh in my mind. It's gonna kill me. Annabelle. That was her name, Annabelle. So all the Conjuring movies, Annabelle, The Nun, they're all part of the Conjuring franchise, the Conjuring universe. And there's a scene in The Conjuring where the nun first shows up, and you just, it's dark, and then you just see this face slowly start to materialize. I'm sorry, but if this right here was coming at me, I would scream like a little girl. Like a little 4-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. Shoot. That would... You think about the movie Nope. That's exactly how I look at it. Like, nope. Turn around. I'm going the other way. With all those creepy freaking ghosts and all these possessed items, why would you keep that in your house? Especially with a small child in the house as well. You don't think their kids are going to eventually go into that room and start messing with some of the possessed items and release some kind of spirit or demon or something? Yeah, the nun, man. That face. Look at the face. That is so creepy. I think nuns in general, for the most part, are kind of creepy. I mean, I never grew up in any kind of like Catholic church or anything like that. Didn't have nuns for school teachers. But I love hearing the stories where the nuns sit there and they beat your hands with the ruler. I'm like, dang. And parents actually pay for their children to attend those type of schools. They pay to get to have somebody else abuse their child. Like, messed up. How messed up is that? The nun is the last figure. Alright. So, Conjuring Universe, a nun, glow-in-the-dark chase variant. And, in Series 4, we go back to 4 figures. Another 4 figures in Series 5. Series 5, one of the figures, I do have a loose figure as well. But that'll be the last one. 4 figures in Series 6. I have 3 out of 5 in Series 7. I have 1 out of 3 in Series 8. And then 4 figures in Series 9. And then we'll start looking at the other figures that aren't on this list. What series do they belong to? I don't know. Hopefully I'll learn that before I make the video. But if not, once I complete Series 9, I'll go in and do a review of all the added figures. And I might even throw in the sets. If I do the sets, or I might just kind of keep it separate. That way have a little bit of a smaller video. A little bit easier to manage for viewers. So, as always, guys, thank you for checking this video out. As I kind of keep to 1 video a day, or kind of keep to 1 review per day, I should be good with reviews for the next 2 weeks of videos. So, maybe I'll kind of intervene with a different video here or there. But right now, for the most part, the review videos are going to be the ones I want to touch on first. So, alright, that is it for now, for this video. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.